This is A Game, fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure. And this is my perspective. So what are we talking about? This is why Black women get left behind. What am I saying? You're getting left behind in your personal lives. A lot of times you get caught up thinking that people are acting funny with you for no reason, or that people are hating on you, that people are doing whatever. And the reality is you're just getting left behind. And this happens in your romantic relationships, and this happens with your friend and family. You actually lose your relationships. You lose them. And you lose them due to your lack of spiritual growth. You don't evolve. You don't improve. You don't really make yourself better. You do a real fake type of improvement. You do a lost value system kind of improvement whenever you feel like you're not, or that people are acting funny with you, or your life not going right. You automatically think it has something to do with wealth, leisure, profession, or education. You've put your stock of your own value personally into external things, your possessions or anything like that. And if you happen to acquire them things and people still back off away from you, you automatically think that they're hating because you have X amount of things and maybe they don't, or maybe they do have it, but you'll say to yourself, well, they didn't want me to come up. But the question that you need to ask yourself is it a come up? If you're able to obtain an education that leads to a better profession, that leads to better money, did you come up, or did you just get some money? Or were you just able to move to a better neighborhood? Or see, you tie your value into these external things, but you never tie your value into internal things. There's no spiritual growth. Let's talk about it from a romantic standpoint. You usually end up losing your relationships with your men. You'll get with a guy at some point in your life. And during that time in your life, you and that man might be very compatible. Usually you're not falling in love so much as you trauma bonding with people. You're basically a lot of times you're getting with these men based on your mutual brokenness. He's broken somewhere, you're broken somewhere. Instead of two people getting together that are healed, that move forward positively, you're two people that get together in your broken state, and you use each other's brokenness to try to massage the brokenness of the other one. This is typically a toxic relationship where it's based on that trauma bond. You trigger each other off in negative ways, and y'all will end up having kids. You might end up getting married to this person or anything like that. Now, let's say 6, 7, 10 years down the line, your husband, who was once broken when you got with him, finds ways to evolve. Let's say he finds ways, he does the internal work that is necessary to move him past the trauma that bonded y'all together. You won't actually do that work. And this is where you begin to grow apart. You're going to get left behind. Now, in a lot of cases, when it's romantic, in that scenario I just gave, the man will attempt to give you the tools that he's learning and using to come out of that toxic mindset. But too many of you Black women don't like system, order, and structure, and you don't like the authority of Black men, and you don't like the leadership of Black men. You don't like that. You don't like if they try to instill some type of structure around you or with you, or create boundaries with you, especially if your relationship didn't start that way. So what'll go on is you won't like it if he starts growing. What you haven't realized is that he's grown past you. He's grown past whatever that brokenness was that attracted you to him and him to you. He's actually, whatever he's done some internal work to try to get over that broken stuff inside of him. And if he has utilized some tool that has helped him, he's probably, if he got any type of care for you, most of the time they do, they try to hand you the tools or tell you about how he's doing these things or why he's doing what he's doing. You'll feel the energy pull back. You'll feel him drift away. And automatically, because so many Black women vibrate so low, you automatically go to where he got another woman. That may not be it. That might not be it. It might just be he's no longer vibrating on that same low level that you are. He's actually done the work or doing the work, and he's trying to get you to grow internally also. You end up growing apart, like I said, and it has little to do with whether or not he's still physically attracted to you or whether he's still sexually attracted to you. What he's not attracted to is your stagnation. You're stagnant. You're not moving. You're not growing with him. You're not trying to come out of that broken, toxic mind state that brought y'all together. You like that type of chaos. You like that type of foolishness and trouble. And he's trying to now get you out of it because he's coming out of it. He's coming out of the fall. So now, because he's trying to learn or is learning more positive ways of interacting, if you don't stop doing that, he starts pulling back away from you. Now, this is where he may actually go seek out another woman. And you'll think he's been pulling back the whole time because of her. Listen, let me break down something to you. A lot of times he's with her because the interaction is different. He may not necessarily be more attracted to her on a physical level. A lot of times y'all had a question, well, why would he, quote unquote, cheat on me with a woman that don't look as good as me? Because she act better than you. She's at a better spiritual space that matches him than you are. Because you won't come out of it. Now, I'm not saying this is always the need he's trying to get met, but a lot of times this is why he's talking to somebody else, because he's trying to get a need met that he can't get with you. And he's been trying to get it out of you, especially if y'all have history in a relationship. But this not only happens romantically, this happens with your friends and your family. They start leaving you for the same reasons that he pulls back his energy romantically. You're remaining in the same mind state without any spiritual growth, the same toxic behavior, the same type of argument. You got the same conversation. You hanging out at the same spot. You doing the same stuff you've been doing for the last 10, 15, 20 years. And other people start growing. They start growing. And they start growing away from you when you don't grow with them. Or when you don't grow at all. And instead of trying to understand why the people are giving you the slow fade, you basically become a victim of the circumstance where they doing something to me. They acting funny with me, which actually speeds up the slow fade process into a fast fade, because they're growing emotionally and spiritually and mentally into a new phase, and you're not growing into another phase of your life. You're not doing that same type of growth because you refuse to do the internal work that leads to that type of growth. You don't understand the deterioration that these relationships with the other. You think the deterioration in relationship is always the other person's fault. They doing something to you. That's that victimhood mentality where they hating. Or, you know what I'm saying, now suddenly they're acting funny. You see them maybe getting some prosperity, or maybe their life changing in a more positive way, and you automatically think they acting funny with you because of the fact that they're getting some things in their life. No. They're not acting funny with you. They're growing. That's why you don't recognize it, because that's something you don't do. So you don't recognize the you know, there's a word that escapes me, but you don't recognize when somebody's actually growing. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what the steps are, because every time somebody try to get you to grow, you fight against it tooth and nail, because you don't want to take accountabilities and responsibilities for the way your life been going, the way your relationships go, whether those relationships are romantic, whether they're platonic, whether they're familial, whether they're co-workers, whatever the type of relationship it is that you have. You don't want to take no responsibility for the way that it go. So if it go bad, it's automatically that other person's fault. They done did something. You've never done anything. You're completely innocent in the situation 100% of the time. And you've never contributed in any way to how bad this is going, or the fact that this other person is just now not really dealing with you the same way. They just don't want to interact with you the same way they've been interacting with you. They might still like you or love you. That's the key. They may still like you and love you. However, the type of interaction they have with you, they don't want to have it anymore. The types of conversation that was full of backbiting and talking about folks and gossiping and planting seeds and chaos and just, you know what I'm saying, this negativity, they've actually probably seen how this has not served them. And so they don't want to have them type of conversations with you anymore. They don't want to have them type of conversations with anybody. And you're like, what's wrong with you? You've been it's been good enough for you, or now you think you too good. And it's like, yeah, to a certain degree, I am too good. I'm climbing out of the mud. I don't want to wallow in the mud with you. And I would like for you, I love you enough to try to give you a hand up out of the mud with me. I'm not really so much looking to leave you behind as it is I'm not willing to stop the trajectory of my growth to make you feel better. That's why they quote unquote acting funny and you don't get as many phone calls. They don't want to go to the same, you know what I'm saying, places that y'all been going to. They don't want to hang with the same group of people anymore because it's toxic, it's negative. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do it. And you never take the time out to stop and think, maybe it's not them, maybe it's me. Maybe I should sit back and actually watch, or maybe I can have a conversation with somebody rather than jump to conclusions as to why I think they doing this or doing that. Why don't I have a conversation with them to ask them why? And the reason why you don't want to have that conversation is because they might tell you the truth. They might tell you, well, I love you, sis, but over the last couple of years, over the last, whatever, I've been doing a lot of thinking. I've been doing a lot of work. I've been doing a lot of praying. I've been doing a lot of whatever. And, I just want to live differently, and I want you to do it too. Like, you should do some of this stuff. Y'all won't even so much as exercise with your friend. They'll start losing weight and you will get mad because you sitting around stuffing your face with a bunch of Hosties and Debbie cakes. And you mad because they don't want to sit around and do that no more. So now you will talk about them. You eating that rabbit food? No, I'm eating food so I won't be 500 pounds. That's what I'm doing. I'm eating the food that don't help me be 500 pounds. Why don't you try food that don't help you be 500 pounds? And then you will get mad. Now they think they better than you because they lost weight. Actually, I was trying to get you to lose weight with me, but you were so busy being jealous of me and then trying to project like I was doing something to you that you couldn't see the benefit in what I was trying to give to you. You didn't see it. This is why you get left behind. These are the things. You don't have any spiritual growth. You don't experience spiritual growth. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this topic. Is this why Black women a lot of times get left behind? Once again, sound off in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.